team that got so much better offensively last year. The challenge is on the defensive side. But again, Adrian Martinez, we talked to him earlier. People talking about him as a Heisman Trophy candidate. Muhammad Berry, one of the leaders of that defense here as well. Again, looking to turn things around after going 4-8 a season ago, but lots of high hopes for this Huskers team. And Coach, we were joking about it. I talked about it with the players, but take people through your day because it sounds like it's been somewhat exhausting to this point.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad, but you know, you fly private, you expect to take off, land, and be where you're going, and we hit thunderstorms, couldn't get into Midway, so we were gonna go to Gerry, Indiana, and then we had to land in Peoria and wait for the storm to go by, and gave me a chance to watch the British Open for an hour.
I like how he put a positive spin on it.
Feels good.
Yeah, it's just like he's right from the DiNardo School of Coaching. Just put a positive spin on everything. I did mention it. You guys are picked to win the West in the media poll. How does that sit with you?
I don't care. I don't care what people pick and project. We got work to do, and we've done a great job in the offseason. Our players have done a great job in the offseason. I think they've earned the right to be more confident than they've been and believe more than they've been. But I don't care what people think. I know we're better, and we're going to have to go out and earn the rest of it.
Let me ask you this. What do you tell the players about that? Because they know about it. I mean, they're acutely, if they didn't know about it before, they know about it now, getting here. So what do you say to them about heightened expectations?
We'll talk about that constantly, talking about focus on what's in front of them and not worrying about outside noise and hype or expectations. Our kids do a great job of that. And to be honest with you, I don't think it could be a bad thing for us to inject us with a little bit of faith and hope and confidence.
You've been through a second year, obviously, before at UCF. You said today at the podium that second years are easier, but are there any challenges the second year that you didn't have the first?
If there is challenges, Coach, they get outweighed about 200 to 1 by things from year one. You know, I think continuing to move the needle forward and keeping the positive momentum rolling is important. So, you know, this is a big year for us to accomplish some of the things that we expect to accomplish so we can go onward and upward from there.
What's the leadership like of the team at this particular point, coming off a year where they were able to put it together late, but now this leadership needs to take the next step as well?
Yeah, we lost some good leaders last year, some guys that really helped us right the ship and get things pointed in the right direction at the end of the season. But we're in about as good a place as I could hope we could be in, about as good as any team that I've been a part of as a coach. So particularly on defense, I think we have a lot of really standout leaders right now, and we're going to be a little bit young on offense, but we have some good guys like Adrian there as well.
You're a quarterback-centric offense. We all know about Adrian. What about the depth behind him?
Yeah, you know, last year we went into the season after a couple transfers with a true freshman quarterback in Adrian and a redshirt freshman walk-on, and that's all we had. This year, I feel really good about the guys that are behind Adrian. Andrew Bunch is back. Noah Vedrill's eligible and ready to play for us. Kid from Nebraska was at UCF with us. And then Luke McCaffrey's in, did a really good job as an early enrollee in the spring. So there's a number of guys behind Adrian that we feel good about could go in a game and do a good job for us.
You also talked about Adrian being an outstanding leader, and he's here for a reason because he's earned it. What is it that he's done away from the field to show you that he's earned it?
He's just the type of kid that does everything right. He's been through a lot in his life, some hard times with him and his family, and I think anytime you go through something hard, it reveals character and builds character, and I think that's helped shape him into who he is. But he's the type of person you want on your team.
Coach, you have a unique perspective as far as transfers. You transferred from Stanford back to Nebraska. Your feelings about the portal, your feeling about the rules, what's the best thing for the young people that we're coaching?
You know, we talked about this in the Big Ten meeting, so this isn't just my opinion or idea. I think we are unanimous as coaches that we feel like student-athletes should have the right and privilege to go wherever they want and change their minds and go to different school if they want. But to protect the integrity of college football, we feel like it should be a mandatory one-year year where they have to sit out with the chance maybe of getting that back at the end of their career, even if it's a 6th year. that answers all the questions. If kids are leaving for academic reasons or for family reasons or anything else, they can get to the school they want to get to. But having kids immediately eligible scares me. I think we get to a point where it's free agency in college football and teams are recruiting players off other teams, and it could get really messy. So I hope we're just smart about how this is rolled out.
Does the appeal process need to be looked at a little deeper?
You could take the appeal process out if you just made it a mandatory 1 year in residence. And I know
which is what the rule's been for generations, right?
It is, but I think at this point, kids that are transferring hire the right people that know the right buttons to push and the right reasons to give the people making decisions to allow them to be eligible. And it certainly doesn't seem fair. It certainly doesn't seem consistent. And I think you could alleviate all that if you just in football made kids sit out a year and maybe give them the year back if they graduate from college. We talked at the Big Ten meetings that kids that transfer are way less likely to graduate and get their degree from college. So maybe graduating is the key to make sure that they can get that year back. But to keep the integrity of the game, I just don't want to see it be full-blown free agency.
What type of growth do you want to see out of your defense this year?
I think the growth is going to come. I think it'll be noticeable. We're bigger, stronger, and faster, and so we're a lot better in that area. I think the other big improvement's going to come from the confidence. Anytime you're in a system for 2 years, any doubt or hesitation that you had that slowed you down is gone, and when you know what you're doing, it allows you to play faster and freer. And I expect our defense to be moving around and be quicker to the ball this year.
You mentioned you played the quarterback position and you've coached and always have seen the most growth from year one to year two in a quarterback. Why is that?
I think quarterback's a unique position in sports, and particularly at that position, I think there's lessons that you don't learn unless you're on the field, and mistakes that you make year one that you don't make year two. We got an unbelievable quarterback coach in Mario Verduzco that I've seen him mentor guys and turn them into superstars in college football. We certainly have a guy at the position in Adrian with all the talent and raw material that we need to work with. He's going to do a great job with him, and I think year two you're going to see a pretty big leap for Adrian.
What makes Mario as good as he is?
His passion. He spent his life studying quarterbacks, learning about quarterbacks. I really believe that, a huge percentage of college football coaches and quarterback coaches recruit somebody, put them on the field, and if they can make the throws, they play. If they can't make the throws, they don't. And there's not very many that, in my opinion, can change the way a quarterback throws, improve them, improve their mechanics, and train them to be better. And Mario's one of the ones that can.
How much freedom will he have in this offense now that he has a year under his belt?
Once the play goes in, it's all him. I can't tell you how many times last year with Adrian or years past with other guys I've coached that, you call a play as a coach and you're looking at it and the quarterback makes something happen and you say, man, that shouldn't have worked, but we got the right guy at quarterback. And Adrian's going to have a real understanding this year of what we're trying to get done on offense, why we're calling the things we are, why we're making the adjustments we are, and I expect him to see a big improvement from that understanding.
Give us a sense for the running back spot.
I said this on the podium, but I think we're a lot like a lot of teams. I think there's still a few holes. I think there's still a few depth issues. We need some young guys to step up, and running back's one of them. Losing Divine, he had a great year for us last year. There's a bunch of guys that have the talent to replace him and do a great job. But we need those guys to step up.
What can you tell us about Maurice Washington?
Well, we're waiting to see how that whole thing unfolds. Maurice has been doing a good job being a teammate on our team through the offseason, and we're not going to make any decisions on him till we see how the legal matter is resolved.
Overall, I know it was a rough year, and we saw you midway through the season, and you were kind of going through it when we were out there for tailgate. But you finished well. What are you proudest of in terms of coming away from year one?
I think tough times reveal character, and you don't really know who you are until you go through real success and some failure. And the thing I'm most proud about for our coaching staff and our team is our staff stayed the course. We believe in what we're doing. We believe in where we're trying to take the team. I think at a certain point last season, if the coaches would have panicked or changed our MO or changed our ideas, I think we would have lost the team. And by staying consistent and not panicking, we turned the corner. And that a lot of credit for that goes to the guys on our coaching staff and their ability to stay calm and do their job, whether things are good or bad.
You and I have talked about this before. Nebraska was on the cutting edge when you were playing on nutrition, on strength and conditioning, on academics, and I don't know that you felt it was that way when you got back. Or is it where you want it to be now?
Yeah, we're getting it back. Nebraska, when I was there, did a better job of developing people than I think anybody in the country. From a strength and conditioning standpoint, a nutrition standpoint, an academic support standpoint, helping guys after college get placed with all the Nebraska fans out there that are running huge companies. That wasn't happening to the level that I expected it to happen or that I was used to when I was in Nebraska. We got the right strength conditioning coach in Zach Duvall now. He's changed our team. We got the best nutritionist in the country in Dave Ellis, a guy that was going around the country for 6 years helping other colleges set up their nutrition programs. So we got the best of the best. We got Dennis LeBlanc, who is our academic guy that was there when I was there, took me to my first class, is as good as there is anywhere. So we want to be better at developing players and people than anybody else.
What are some of the goals that you have going in outside of wanting to stay healthy as you get ready for camp and you want to come out, be successful, ready to go?
I think our kids have earned, through their hard work and their improvement in the offseason, they've earned the right to be confident and go into games, not just thinking they can win, but expect to win. I want to see them bring that to fruition and see all their hard work pay off. Once that happens, I think the whole thing's just going to take off, and I can't wait to watch it for our players.
Scott Frost, Nebraska head coach. We look forward to watching it as well. Thanks for giving us a few minutes of your time, Coach.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.